I'd like to go way back to the J. Paul Getty story with all the guns and stuff in the house in Hollywood, in the homes in Hollywood.
Oh man, the whole Getty complex. That's pretty much like hell on earth. They got what 100,000 kids from underneath the Getty compound, and also I don't know if you remember the show V. Remember
Absolutely.
Okay, now remember they had the ship, like the what do they call it? They called it some kind of it's like a mothership, but they had a specific name to it. You know, they churched it up a little bit. Well, that was technically over the Getty Museum.
Wow.
Yeah, because when you go back and you look up V and V the Final Battle, and you look at all of the all the words, all the phrases, everything like that, and the storyline, it's right now. I mean, that's right. I mean, every single thing that they use in V the Final Battle, it's right here right in front of us. And what they do is remember, they're eating the white rats, right? Well, then you have rats, and then you have rabbits. It's like us.
That's right.
It's like it's all six, and it's just like these are just because you think it's. I mean, let's face it. Back then, we were like, "This is preposterous.
Absolutely.
How can they even have this?" Oh boy, we didn't see that one coming, but now that we did, and we go back to it, it's pretty bold.
It's a big rabbit hole.
Yeah,
it's a big rabbit hole, and it's right at a time where I was doing my second ever chemo treatment, and I would come right straight from the hospital after 5 days of chemo, and I would jump right back in it, and it was unbelievable until I kept uncovering it and just kept uncovering it, and the guns and stuff and the children's stuff they pulled out of that complex. Holy cow! But I feel like that's important leading up to the exposure that's going on now with the Finger Lakes.
Oh, now we're stepping right into the wheelhouse because, of course, if you're going to study it, right, you might as well know it, like back your hand, right?
That's right.
Here's the Finger Lakes, guys, all right?
Wow.
So what we have here is they're all shaped like fingers, right? Because you have 6 and then you have 5, right? Now, the issue with this is that who had 6 fingers? The Nephilim. So, we'll set down here. We'll come back to it. But, well, you know what? No, we'll come back to it right now. Just right here. Now, this is where Eric Kirk comes into play. The whole Durham. How he plays Durham.
Right.
When you go back and watch his earlier posted threads, he's always like using these drones, and he's flying over Havre de Grace, Maryland. Now, Havre de Grace, Maryland, it's like, well, what is it? Once we start looking into it, well, they had SJ or JS Seneca came there, and he opened up a canning, corporation company and all that. Well, right there in Havre de Grace, and then he moved it inward to New York, to Seneca Lake.
Seneca Lake, the center.
Yes, right here.
Yes.
Here's the thing about Seneca Lake, all right? There are well over 50 wineries around Seneca Lake itself, right?
Right.
Now, at the bottom here, there's Watkins Glen, the race, the NASCAR track.
Right.
We also have a huge salt mine there.
Wow.
Right? Now, here, where this Dresden is, there's even something bigger there.
Submarine.
It's called bigger.
Wow.
It's called Greenidge. It's like a power plant. And what they did was, it was a place where they were doing the mining of coins for a Bitcoin. And they actually overtook China. And the thing is, on the 41020, when they mentioned 41020, There's a couple things that 41020 is, and people are like, oh, it's DJT. I'm like, they're not gonna make it that easy. Never they're gonna make it that easy. It's like that's perfect for like, you know, when you're starting out. But what they did on the date 41020, somebody went in and it was like an anonymous purchase, and I have the document somewhere. It's in a tote somewhere, but they bought this astronomical amount of data. I mean, it is a stupid amount, and they paid like top dollar for it. I'm like, well, why you announced it on 41020, but then also why would you know, why is it all anonymous? Why is it all shady? You know, because Bitcoin. I mean, I personally believe that Bitcoin, what they do is, you know, they traffic these kids and they hook them up to these machines where they try to, like, the whole machine learning with the clones and everything, and they try to duplicate their creativity and their imagination, and it just keeps it going. Just like the whole nuclear, the Iran nuclear deal. You might as well just say that's a farm, because it's, you have the nuclear family, which is man, woman, child, and what are they harvesting out there? Children, because they're sending a bunch of oil over to China. What is oil? Oil is also energy. Energy is children. When you look at these patents, now the thing, I hate that we have to think like them too, because it's just, it leaves a bad taste in our mouth. You're like, can't believe you guys did this. Like, you guys skip no bounds, and all these like Duke Energy. Duke Energy is a huge example, because what was it? I was listening to Quantum Shift a couple years ago, and Ken Dunn mentioned Duke Energy just once. He's like, look at the Duke Energy. I'm like, I mean, if somebody says it, I mean, you know, you never know what you're going to find. So we chased down Duke Energy, and then we found that there was the CEO was Lynn Good. Well, she got this 55% raise because of her bringing to the company a higher level of carbon capture and storage. People are like, well, what's that? Like, well, if human beings are carbon, but a specific human being, it's the black human beings. That's not melanin what they're harvesting. That's carbon.
Right.
That carbon fiber and everything, it's where they're getting it from. It's like, right there's your carbon capture and storage. They're taking the blacks and they're keeping them in the cells. It's exactly what they're doing. And when they have this, you know, how do they transport them and everything? They have a whole crazy way of doing this stuff. Like Project Pelican opened that whole door up, and it turned into a nightmare real quick there. And when we started chasing down this whole, you know, Duke Energy, what they do, then we found out that Lynn Good was actually he was on the Boeing board of directors. Now, whenever you hear Boeing, you're like, oh, this is gonna be bad. This is gonna be real bad. It's like a car accident. You gotta watch it. You gotta see it through, because there's gonna be some good stuff. Because that's why they say these people are stupid. They do not know how to cover their tracks. That's why we're constantly evolving into higher learning. That's the whole August is a hot month. It's a higher order of thinking month. Because what it is that you have a pyramid, and it's inverted, the capstone's knocked off, and it goes remembering, understanding, and it goes upward like a trapezoid. So we're going upward, we're actually ascending, and we're actually remembering and understanding and everything about our previous lives. Because it's what it's all about. What we've won is we've won our immortality. And we have the documents for that too, because it was in this top secret CIA document. I mean, you're talking Majestic, Zodiac, Triune, like they're way higher up. So I'm like, I don't think we're supposed to have this, but I think we're supposed to have this. And it mentions about the Human Genome Program and how they were taking our DNA and they were 5 markers short of making a full strand, a double helix DNA, because they wanted to make the jump with us. But since they couldn't find these 5 markers, they couldn't. That's why they opened up the Human Genome Project, and they did it under the Rockefeller Institute. They did it under all these dirty corporations, and they could never get it. That's why they started the 23andMe and Ancestry.com. They wanted people to start sending in their DNA so they could check it for markers. Because if they find the markers, they're going to get that person. They never know that. Who knows? You don't think that you're not going to accuse like 23andMe. It's like, why would they come after them? Makes no sense. So then that just that skepticism right there creates all doubt. And it's all left to the side, even though that's exactly what they wanted.
It's crazy the amount of more evil with our higher order of thinking and learning.
Oh,
I mean, it's crazy.
Why they have us doing this twice? It's because when they put the 80-20 and then they had the 40-60 in those drops. Well, what that is it's fifths. If you have 100, you have 20, 40, 60, 80. You split up into fifths. Well, they have the circle of fifths. It's something in music. I'm not a musician, so no clue. But when they said 6 is a dangerous time, when you look at this circle of fifths as a clock, at the 6 o'clock time, there's 2 sharps and 2 flats, because the inner working is a minor and the outer working is the major. You want to get out of the minor into
major.
Because once you get in the major, everything starts like it illuminates. It's like this is
yes. You'll be amazed too once you do that. Holy cow! It's a whole nother realm open right in front of you.
It is, and you can't even explain it. Those who don't know, because the colors are brighter. It's just how do you explain it?
Yeah, how do you explain after that happening to you, going places and people growling and hissing at you and things like that, because they know.
The best part is there's only 2 people on the outside that actually know who I am, and they're from Home Depot. Because they're like, you're coming here getting all these toasts, and now we know why. I'm like, all right, well, now you got me. Like, okay. He's like, it's awesome. I'm like, well,